Hello everyone, this is Eric from Bloat Games coming at you today. Just doing another follow-up video for the Blackest of Deaths, our Kickstarter, which is launching on April 9th, 2019. We are looking at what's referred to as the ash can version of the book. This is the version that's been play tested for about the past 9 months. And today we're going to be looking at the races, and a little bit later on we're going to take a peek at the classes. So in the Ashcan version there is 4 races. You have a dwarf, elf, human, and goblin. Alright. In this, unlike some OSR games, this is not race as class. So you're able to pick a race and a class. Alright. And then let's take a peek at the dwarfs starting out. So starting out, the dwarfs, for selecting that class, you are going to get an attribute bonus of +1 to con, a -1 to wisdom, and a +1 to your hit points. And then the dwarfs just have some abilities preset in. They have by axe and hammer, which means that no matter what your class restrictions are, dwarves can always use axes and hammers. They're tough as nails, so they have a natural armor point score of 1, even when unarmored. Underground senses, they receive a +3 to detecting concealed doors, secret doors, traps. They cannot be, stonework. They cannot be lost in underground. They can sense how deep they are, that type thing. They have the craftsman's eye. So after a few minutes of examination, dwarves are able to determine the value of gold, jewels, weapons, armor, and other items of metalwork. They can spot forgeries, fakes, and even discern the presence of any enchantments, but they don't know what the enchantments are, so they can't tell you what they can tell you if it's a magical item, but they can't tell you what the magical item is. Their resistance to both magic and poison. So they get a +4 to their core difficult, or their core mechanic roll. And then also they have dark vision, can see up to 90 feet. All right. Elves. Elves they're going to appear kind of like how you're used to seeing them. They come with an attribute bonus of a +1 to Dex and Charisma, a -1 to Strength, and a -1 to HP. They're immune to paralysis. They're friends of the woodland realm. They have the ability of forest walker, so whenever an elf is traveling through a forest or woodland terrain, they leave no trace of their passing and are invisible if they remain silent. They must be alone with other elves, or at least 90 feet away from non-elvish allies to benefit from this ability. They have elvish senses. And so with the elvish senses, they are highly attuned to magic, both natural and foul. They can automatically detect any presence of magic and evil in the same manner as detect evil and detect magic spells, with a range up to 60 feet. And then they have star sight. Elves can easily see in the starlight and the moonlight as they can in the light of day. They are still totally blinded in magical darkness. So then let's take a peek at the goblins next. Alright. The goblins, they typically are short in stature, about 4 to 5 feet. They're slimy. They got slimy skin. They're crude in manner. They're crude in manner and in tongue. They're oftentimes kind of cowardly. And they are almost always shunned by all people except for the people who are in their adventuring party, obviously. They have the curse of the unwanted. So feeling that they have no place in the world, goblins often become adventurers and wanderers, selling their swords to the highest bidder in hopes to squeak out a living. A rare few find hope in the good things of the world and pursue a noble end, raising their blades in the defense of the weak. They are fearful in nature, so that's going to give them that they're always hyper vigilant to dangers. So they receive a +2 to their evade at character creation. Magic and superstition. Goblins are superstitious and are constantly worried about doing something that would bring them bad luck. They are also terrified of magic, and those that practice it, and as such they cannot be a magic related class, and they suffer a -2 penalty on all difficulty checks versus magic or magic effect rolls. All right. But despite their fear of magic, goblins will happily and greedily try to use magic items, potions, and other magical treasures. So they're a little backward in their thinking. They have an aversion to light. They prefer to stay indoors or underground. During the day, goblins suffer disadvantage on all difficulty checks made when in direct, unshaded sunlight. And then humans, the game was built for humans to be the standard. So when you go through and you see how to roll attributes, or you see what the your starting hit points are, that's all based on the assumption that you're going to be a human character. So the human class, despite their commonality, they do receive a +1 attribute to or +1 to any attribute of their choosing at character creation. But aside from that, they don't get any other racial class benefits because they are the standard of the book. So that's the 4 classes that are available. I'll be back a little bit later to do another video for you. Thank you very much, and see you in a little bit.